this is completely random, by the way. A completely random thing I decided to do. Just doing some random short form content here. 100 men versus a gorilla. 100 men versus one single gorilla, one silverback gorilla. I don't know what kind of gorillas they are. Um, and it's funny because I actually asked a friend about it. He was just like, well, you think about humans over time. We're kind of monsters when it comes to like the animal kingdom. Like humans, when fully dedicated to eradicating something, we will eradicate anything. And I was just like, okay, that is true. However, in the same breath, he also said, most likely, take 100 niggas and we all go bum rush a gorilla. Morale will immediately drop the moment someone starts getting their head and arms ripped off. Right? Once the gorilla picks up somebody by the leg, it starts puny godding them and hitting other people with their dead bodies. That the torso's probably gone by this point. People are gonna be running. It's gonna be chaotic. It's gonna be crazy. But I wanted to ask ChatGPT. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this live. We're gonna do this live right here. We're gonna do this live right here. I done pulled up ChatGPT. Hold on. Could 100 men defeat a gorilla? We're gonna ask ChatGPT here. What's your opinion on this, ChatGPT? In theory, 100 men could defeat a gorilla, but only under certain conditions. Let's unpack the question in more depth by considering the raw physical capabilities of both sides, dynamics of group combat, and realistic scenarios. All right, let's see this. Okay. The gorilla emoji. The gorilla, a living tank. Oh, this is fun. I love this already. A fully grown male silverback gorilla weighs between 300 to 450 pounds and stands about 5.5 feet tall when upright. Damn, I'm actually taller than a gorilla. That's crazy. They possess extraordinary strength, estimated to be at least 4 to 9 times stronger than the average human male. Their bite force could exceed 1,300 psi, and they can tear limbs, crush bones, and lift objects several times their own weight. Key attributes, it's like a sports, breakdown of like an athlete's attributes. Incredible upper body strength, long, powerful arms, arm span often over 8 feet, speed and agility in short bursts, obviously that, razor sharp canine teeth, thick muscular build and durable bones, intimidation tactics that can paralyze or frighten aggressors. Yeah, dude, starts in the shit, in the shit. Which I think my friend said that like they do the chest beating thing more so as like a thing to like get you to go away and leave them alone. A gorilla in a fight would likely aim for the most immediate threat and could kill or maim multiple unarmed men before being overwhelmed. That's kind of my thinking there. Like, I think eventually just the sheer numbers would overwhelm. It's like if you put a gorilla in The Walking Dead against a horde of like 100 zombies, the gorilla's gonna go down eventually. It's gonna go down eventually. But its natural instincts are not to go berserk like a movie monster, but if cornered in rage, it becomes terrifyingly dangerous. That is true. The 100, the emojis are killing me. The 100 men, strength in numbers, maybe. They put ChatGPT said maybe. Let's assume the men are average unarmed civilians, not trained fighters, soldiers, or athletes. Okay. In that case, a mob of 100 men faces serious disadvantages despite their numbers. Okay. Coordination problems. That's like the big thing, yes. Large groups struggle to act effectively as a unit, especially in a fight. That's true. Fear factor. Most people would hesitate to charge a 400-pound beast capable of tearing a person apart. That would be me. I would not even be there at the first place. But bottlenecking. Only a handful of people can physically engage the gorilla at once in a confined space. That is true. Like, you can maybe get, like, 3 in front, one on each side, and, like, 3 again in the back, just, like, bum rushing them. Casualties. Even if victorious, many men could be severely injured or killed. Moral hesitation. People may falter in striking a clearly intelligent animal. No. That's not something. No. If you sign up for the gorilla 100-man bum rush, you do not give a damn about it being an intelligent animal. You clearly don't care. It's like the same people who are trying to bum rush Area 51 and give a damn. However, with a well-coordinated strategy like surrounding the gorilla in an open space and dogpiling it, a critical mass of people could likely restrain the animal after a fierce and bloody fight, especially if they're motivated, trained, or desperate. Realistic outcome scenarios. There we go. Uncoordinated civilian rush. The gorilla likely kills or gravely injures dozens before being overwhelmed. Victory is, what the fuck is that word? Pyrrhic at best? Pyrrhic at best. Coordinated assault. Military or martial arts trained men. They could restrain or incapacitate the gorilla far more quickly, though casualties are still expected. Yeah, if you get a bunch of like soldiers, a bunch of freaking kung fu masters, alright, gorilla's going down probably a lot easier. Men with makeshift tools, sticks, rocks, nets. The odds improve significantly, turning the fight towards the humans. Yes, we would definitely need weapons. Like, not even guns, but you give me, like, something, a rock, you give me a brick. Give me, like, something, I think we could take it. Open terrain versus confined space. In a confined space, the gorilla is at a disadvantage due to lack of escape routes and getting swarmed. In open terrain, it may evade or attack more effectively. Final verdict. Yes, 100 men could defeat a gorilla if they worked together, accepted casualties, and committed fully to the attack. But it would not be easy, clean, or casualty-free. The gorilla would almost certainly kill or maim several men before going down. Would you like to explore this? We'll look at a fictionalized scenario or scene. Oh, God. Okay. All right. I was not expecting ChatGPT. You know what? We're going to do that right now. This is not my plan. I was going to stop after this, but yeah. Yes. It's spelled yes wrong. Yes, go ahead and explore the fictionalized scenario as a scene. Okay, dude, this is crazy. Here's a fictionalized scene that explores the grim outcome of 100 men attempting to take down a silverback gorilla. The tone is realistic and visceral, grounded in the physicality and terror of such a confrontation. Scene in the arena. This is stupid. This is stupid. Okay, hold on. I gotta get serious here. I gotta get serious. It began at sunrise. The makeshift arena was little more than a wide dirt circle, surrounded by low wooden barriers. Rough hewn logs and barbed stakes formed a crude pen. Dust stripped lazily in the cool morning air. One gate stood closed. The other stood open. Inside, pacing like a thundercloud come alive, was the gorilla. A full-grown silverback, 450 pounds of sinewed rage and confusion, muscles shifted under a coat of dark silvered fur, his eyes gleaming with the unsettling intelligence of something that knew this wasn't the jungle. This wasn't home. I would totally play some, like, Planet of the Apes music right now, but I don't know if I get copyright for the background music. Outside, the 100 men stood, hesitant, packed together like an uncertain tide at the edge of the ocean. They were not soldiers. They were not fighters. Just men. Most in jeans, boots, or trainers, fists clenched not from courage, but from fear. There was no roar of bloodlust, no cheer of confidence. Only the murmured questions of who's going first, and what happens if it comes for me. A whistle sounded. The gate dropped. Why am I turning into Kratos all of a sudden? The gorilla didn't charge immediately. He stood still, breath steaming in the morning air. His massive chest heaving. I still can't believe this is happening. His eyes scanned the crowd, slow and deliberate. Then he roared, a deep, bone-vibrating sound that echoed off the timber. A sound that sent a few men stumbling back without even realizing it. Then, it charged. The first man barely had time to lift his arms before the gorilla hit him like a wrecking ball. Backhand flung him 6 feet into the air. What the Okay, come on. He landed awkwardly and didn't move again. The second man was crushed beneath the piece of bulk. His screams drowned by the chaos erupting all around. Okay. Oh, shoot. This is one of the funniest videos I've ever done. I don't want to edit any of this, by the way. The crowd surged forward in a confused wave, half attacking, half retreating. You're damn right, half retreating. The first circle of men closed in. 5, maybe 6 at once. One jumped on its back. Another swung a length of wood like a club. The gorilla spun, grabbed one man by the leg, and swung him into another like a doll. Blood sprayed, screams rose, and still they kept coming. They dogged 8, 10, then 20 men. Hands grabbed his fur and limbs. Someone shouted, "Hold the arms!" I'm crying. You can see I'm crying at this. Hold the arms! Someone else screamed in pain as the gorilla bit down on his shoulder, tearing flesh like paper. It roared, stood, and threw off the pile like a living explosion. More came. 30, 40. Men fell, bones broken. Some tried to retreat, but they were pushed forward by the crush behind them. Those who could not move were trampled. The ground was stained red with footprints and blood. Then the shift came. Around the 60-man mark, weight and sheer mass began to smother the beast. The gorilla was bleeding from a cut above the eye, from its flank, from dozens of fists, boots, knees that had been rained down on it. It was slowing, snarling, still terrifying, still capable of death in a blink, but overwhelmed. Someone wrapped a rope around its neck. Where'd they get the rope? Where'd they get the rope? Where did they get the rope? They're about to lynch this. They're about to lynch a gorilla. Others started to pull. Hands dug into the fur, faces. The gorilla dropped to one knee. A man brought a rock down its spine again and again. It screamed. More animal now. Less God. This is sad. This is actually sad. What did this gorilla do? This is like freaking rabid gorilla or something? Is this like Planet of the Apes? This is a scene from Planet of the Apes before the humans were wiped out. Someone found a gorilla. 70, 80. It was buried. Hands pinned its limbs. One man drove a stick into its ribs. Another sobbing. Punched until his knuckles broke. Like just, ah, 95, 96. By the time the 100th man reached the center of the pile, the gorilla was still, not dead yet, but broken. Its breath came in slow, rattling gulps, one eye swollen shut, ropes biting its limbs. Dozens of men lay motionless around it. Maybe 10 dead, maybe 20. More moaning, crawling away, arms hanging at odd angles, shirts soaked in red. They're crawling, ah. Silence felt like a funeral shroud. They had won, if this could be called victory. Oh, look at ChatGPT. Would you like to follow up with aftermath, character reactions, or a deeper philosophical reflection on the scene? No, buddy, that was enough. Oh my god. Fucking bravo, ChatGPT. That was amazing. I was crying. Oh my god, I was crying, dude. That was the funniest shit. That's the funniest shit I've ever seen. See, this is what you use AI for. This is what, like, people are afraid of AI. They hate AI. You don't do it to, replace human beings and stuff like that. No. But when you just want to mess around, have some fun, talk about whether 100 men could fight a gorilla and win, ChatGPT comes in clutch. It's 16 minutes long. I was gonna say some short form stuff. I was expecting this to just be like 6 minutes. But dear Lord, that was good. That was good. If you enjoyed that, hit the like button, subscribe as well, and leave in the comments whether you think ChatGPT got it right. All right, do you agree? Do you think 100 men could fight a gorilla and win? Rate that scene. Rate it from Oscar worthy to whatever. Oh, that was amazing. I'll see you guys in the next one.